going, everybody? Today I'm going to be taking a little bit of a detour from my usual type of video. Those of you who subscribe to my channel are well aware that most of my videos are about 5.2 Toys, Beast Box and Mega Box lines, and Infinity Box, of course. I'm not going to give you quite the whole spiel of how I started making videos to begin with today, but essentially, yeah, I started collecting that line a few years ago and took an interest in them and decided to start posting videos online just to see, what would happen. A few years later, obviously I'm still at it, but that's not the only thing I collect. I do have a couple other things. The main thing is actually Transformers Alternators. And in case you're not aware, that was a very short-lived line of Transformers from about 15 years ago. Basically, they're licensed reproductions of actual make and model automobiles. At the time, they were perceived to be the quote-unquote masterpiece versions of, they had come right after the 20th Anniversary Optimus Prime, and seeing as how there was nothing else out there in the market, in the Transformers line, that's kind of what was there. Given the amount of realism that went into the vehicles, and no other Transformers line since then has captured that level of realism, at least in their vehicle modes. That was kind of the premium type Transformer from, basically for people like me who grew up with them in the 80s, the old Gene Oneers, as you might call us. But and just to show you real quick, and here you go. This is what I've got for Transformer Alternators, at least right now. I do pick up one every now and then off of eBay. I would say my collection is probably pretty well complete. I don't have to have like one of every variety, but every once in a while I might find one on eBay that looks like a reasonable price and I'm willing to pick it up. I do have a few in here that are still in the box, and the intent here is not to leave them there permanently. It's just for lack of time and attention. I often pick something up, forget about it, and it winds up in the box and it just stays there for who knows however many months. Sometimes years in some cases. So there's the whole set here. Here's your 20th Anniversary Optimus Prime. Limited room to display these things. I need to find something better than this kind of skinny, tall Detolf case. It's a nice case, but it's very limited in what you can display in it. And here's what you guys know me for the most, my Beast Box collection. I've got way too many of these right now, probably, but basically 2 walls deep right now, using the top shelf to display some, and yeah, there you go. As far as my quote-unquote video production studio, well, you're looking at it. This is it. It's just basically a tabletop. I've got some overhead lighting and some tape marked down to show where the shot is going to be framed and where my camera stand needs to be positioned. So obviously I've got a lot of stuff to put away right here. I come in here and I play around with these things and just make a video out of them. So oftentimes I wind up going through a bunch of different figures just to figure out what I want to end up doing with the video or whatever. So it's a process. On to the main agenda for this video, basically was just to kind of talk about some of the stuff that I might pick up off of eBay every now and then, and this is one of them. It's one I picked up recently here from a fellow who is obviously a collector or whatever. I'd communicated with him a couple of times before I purchased his thing. This is an MPP-10B, I think, Nemesis Prime. It's one of those Weijiang line Masterpiece Optimus Primes. It's like a 12-inch or something like that. It's a gigantic Transformer. So from the reviews that I have seen, the MPP-10 line is, as far as Optimus Prime goes, a lot of people consider that to be correctly in scale with other standard Masterpiece Transformers figures. This is one I kind of have been chasing for a little bit. Didn't want to spend a huge amount of money on it. Yeah, this guy had a really nice one for sale. It seemed pretty straightforward. So basically, yeah, I'm just going to unbox this and see what we got with the box here. Obviously, he took a great deal of care packaging this thing, even going as far as to show where to open it. So I appreciate that attention to detail. So we are going to start cutting away. Just use a lot of papers and things, just random shit that he could find to stuff this box, I guess. All right, buddy. Got some of this stuff out of a fashion magazine, I guess. Yeah, just to show you what, how he sort of like entombed this character in a coffin. So he's got his head rested in there and in between some wads of paper to keep it from moving around. This is a little slapdash, but I'll tell you what, I think he really did the job on it, so much appreciated to this dude. This is one of the more unusual packaging jobs that I have seen from an eBay purchase. I'm not faulting this dude by any means. I applaud his creativity. Don't feel like he mishandled this or anything like that. Oh man. Sometimes this is just what you get. That is what he sent me. Just had this dude wrapped in a big old plastic sleeping bag or something like that. Probably could have used bubble wrap or packing peanuts. You know, it's kind of a given that he obviously did this on the cheap with whatever materials he had on hand. Yeah. Got the packaging for the gun here, and I believe this is all original to, you know, didn't come with an original box, of course, but I believe these are original to the figure as he had originally purchased them. Damn, I am gonna tell you what, good God almighty, even with his legs obviously compacted, this thing is gigantic. So Weijiang had a bunch of different color variants of this specific model that they put out. You got the standard Optimus Prime, and I think there's like a weathered version, there's like a transparent version, there's an Ultra Magnus version, etc., 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 whatever. The Nemesis Prime version, the standard one, is actually kind of a gloss coat. This is like a limited release that came in like a matte finish. I had never seen this until I came across this eBay listing, and yeah, to me, just the unique factor of it was just like, hey, you know, I gotta check this out. Holy moly, this thing is gigantic. Wow. To give you a sense of scale, I'm gonna have to put him next to our boy Unis here. Unis is 7 inches tall. This MPP oversized Prime is easily 14 inches tall, I would think. And it is, you know, mostly plastic, but it's built like a damn tank. This thing is huge. Holy cow. So the Weijiang line, that's a third-party knockoff, obviously, and you know, I don't even know how they're even able to sell these things, to be honest with you, because it's like a direct rip-off, you know, an actual established character. But be that as it may, they're not allowed to use the actual names of the characters or any branding or iconography that's associated with regular Transformers lines. So what ends up happening is, in this case, as you can tell, this figure has placard, badge, whatever you want to call that, so that you could add an aftermarket Transformers badge if you so choose. In this case, this dude who sold it to me did have a Decepticon symbol, and Nemesis Prime, as I understand, is essentially a Decepticon, like an evil Optimus Prime or something like that. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. So there again, not looking for perfection here, just kind of wanted to show off what some of the random stuff I may sometimes pick up off of eBay or whatever. One last thing I do want to show off on this figure. So yeah, just to give you a sense of scale on this thing, I'm going to pair him up with one of my other prized possessions. Those of you who are Transformers purists, go ahead and laugh. Yes, I consider my 20th Anniversary Optimus Prime a prized possession. Still love this thing. It's made of a lot of metal. Yeah, I wouldn't say the MPP-10 quite towers over him, but he's definitely taller. You can't quite see that from the angle of this shot, but I would say MPP-10B Nemesis Prime is about a ½ inch taller, something like that. Maybe a full inch taller, depending on how you have the figure standing up. But yeah, that's a regular old 20th Anniversary Optimus Prime. I think this guy, this big fella, is 12 inches tall. Unis is 7 inches tall, so that seems to check out size-wise. So, and yeah, I'll tell you what, these little 2-inch cubes are obviously quite a bit smaller. At least this little guy, I kind of feel like he holds his own. Obviously, he's not in scale for, you know, what a real-world vehicle / human would be or something like that. But set those guys aside for a second, and that is all I wanted to show you today. This is a limited release, I believe a single manufacturing run, at least according to the guy I bought this from matte black, oversized Weijiang Nemesis Prime. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show you today. Just a little bit of behind the scenes, a little more about me, because I don't really talk much beyond doing my regular Beastbox Megabox videos. Just thought I'd show off something else I picked up off of eBay, and you know, if that is of interest to you one way or the other, if you made it this far, I do appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Yeah, we'll look forward to talking with you again. I will have plenty more Beastbox and Infinity Box videos on the way. I've got a lot planned for the year. Ultimately, for me, it is really about time to get these things made. It does take a chunk of my time, and it's kind of, I get to it when I can. But one way or the other, I do like making videos and kind of showing my stuff off and talking with other collectors, that kind of thing. So I will come back around with some other content here before too long. Not exactly sure what is coming next. I want to say I'm probably going to do a down spiral video, but I'm not totally sure about that. That is definitely on the list. Some of you might recall earlier this year I had put out a comment asking about a batch of figures that I had picked up kind of late last year, early this year, I think, somewhere in that time frame. Just basically saying, hey, you know, which of these figures would you like to see me review the most? Did get a good bit of positive response on that. And I think I picked off the two most popular ones so far, which was Baihu and Anatopti. Yeah, we'll have more on the way. Down Spiral is definitely next on the agenda for that batch of figures. There was also the Goldfish and the Butterfly on that list, and I do intend to get to those two, but it's really just a matter of time. It's just a matter of me prioritizing which figures I think people are going to take the most interest in and that kind of thing. But also, you know what, I'm interested in picking up and making a video about. So kind of a mixed bag as far as that goes. But I think Down Spiral is going to be my next video. Not totally sure about that, but there again, I do have a good chunk of content coming on the way. As always, I do appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. You know, if you happen to take an interest in this one in particular, please feel free to leave me a like. Give me a comment, that kind of thing, whatever. You know, always appreciate it. It definitely helps this channel out to keep it more visible. So one way or the other, I'll be back as soon as I can with more content. Hope you're enjoying the rest of your week. You know, be safe, have fun, and just enjoy yourself. Peace. We'll talk to you later.